Hi and welcome to Mike's Corner. So in this episode we're going to be looking at something that could be really handy for someone like me who works on a lot of stuff, or for someone like you who does stuff with wiring and electronics. They need to strip some wires off really quickly and easy. Now AliExpress have been throwing these tools up on my feeds all the time saying, hey Mike, this might be for you. And you know what? I got one anyway. Even though it kept wanting me to get it, I got it anyway. So let's have a look at the multifunctional folding wire stripper from AliExpress. Let's get unboxing. So here we have the foldable wire stripper, pulley pulley design, multifunction electrician. Oh wow, okay, let's get into this thing. Okay, so this is interesting. So it folds down and it's got a lock mechanism here. Oh, it is spring loaded. Oh, so you can't see the spring. So it's got to be inside this mechanism here. Now, how does that feel? I'm kind of moving this in my hand, and around here it feels like there's some resistance, quite a bit of resistance there. And I think what it is when these two touch here, because I can see there's a bit of shine where it's moving. It's definitely, I think it's definitely there. But let's have a look at what the functions we have here. So I believe these are wire separators. They are like there's a 10mm and a 6mm. There's some wire strippers here. It's like a box opener maybe. That's also a cable stripper. You know, when you're trying to get, so you've got a cable that's been snipped and you want to have a line down the actual shielding so you can get to the wires. You can put it through there, pull it through, and it will separate them all. Okay, not sure what this bit's for, the gripper at the bottom. But yeah, I mean, how does this feel in the hand? It feels quite cheap. This is it's like a little padded to it. It's not overly thick. Does it feel like it will break? That's the question. Now, I don't know. I don't think I could bend it. Now, I've seen some tools that you can buy here in the UK from the kind of convenience kind of hardware stores, and they're literally made out of Swiss cheese. You can literally grip them with something and they will bend. And this doesn't feel like that. I'm really giving it a good bend there, and it doesn't feel like it's going to bend quickly. And look how thick the metal is as well. So kind of reminds me of the old bike tools that you used to get on the thickness side. They feel like that, and just hopefully they're not built like those. But we could do some tests on getting some wire and seeing how it strips them. Okay, so you join me with a multitude of different wires, and we even got a big electric wire. Now I'm not sure if we're going to be able to cut this with this, but we'll leave that to last. So let's see how the wire cuttings go. Oh, that was like butter. That was nice. And let's have a look at if I want to strip this wire. Let's see how that goes. That could have been better. I've got to say that was a lot of resistance. Now I could be doing it the incorrect way. So let's try the opposite way around. That was much better. The blade appears to be facing the opposite direction to what you would expect, but it doesn't appear to work very well with smaller cables, but it did do the job a couple of times though. That kind of saves you from using a blade to do it. So it's quite a nice little thing to have on there. And as I said earlier, so let's see the wire stripping. These are very small wires, so I'm going to say that we're probably not going to get any stripping on these. Okay. Oh, I snipped it instead. No, it's just too small to grab on that. These, as I said, these are very, very small wiry bits. So here we go. This is more of a household kind of thickness of wire. So let's snip that, and that's snipped really, really nicely. And let's see how this works on this. Deep. It went deep. There we go. How did that do? I didn't. You see what's happened here? I feel that it went too deep. Let's just chop this off again. Is there any adjustments on the depth? There is no adjustments on the depth. It's definitely fixed where it is. So let's see if I just put it down a little bit so it gets where it needs to go, and then do it that way. Do we have any problems this time? We don't. The only issue you have with doing it that way, there's no kind of stopper that you can use, so you can't set the depth of it. And I would like to have seen just some kind of little thing you could push down or put in place so you didn't overshoot and press it down too hard and it went in and does something like that. Now that just proves how sharp that is, because it's gone through the actual wire itself. That I would have liked to have seen a way to stop you from going so deep, instead of just holding it with your hand, because holding it with your hand and then pulling it through, you could always push it in too much. But it did work. So let's just go again. So let's go from down here, and I want to get back up there. There we go. See, again, I actually went into it then. I didn't think I did. I didn't think I was holding it down enough, but I did go into it. So I would have liked to have seen a stopper on that. So let's chop that again. The chopping action is really, really nice. I really like the chopping action. Let's try the individual wire chopping action. So let's get an individual wire out. Okay, shove it in there. Now that didn't chop it. Maybe that's just to have it so you can pull off. But yeah, it has taken some of the wires with it as well. So not sure what function that bit is, but let's try one of these to see how it strips the wire. That doesn't strip that one. Let's try the next one. Oh, okay. That worked, but it wasn't smooth. These don't actually feel sharp. That was a bit of work to get that in there. Let's try the next one down. Okay, that worked better. So the next one down did actually work better, and it stripped the wire quite nicely. So what's next? Can we see if it will cut the really thick wire? Right, so here we have some nice thick gauge wire here for electrical work on power sockets. So I don't think this is going to do this, in all honesty. This could be the destruction of this tool, but you know, let's just do it for laughs. What? Did it damage it at all? It doesn't look like it did. Nice! That just melted through that. That's impressive. Now, what's more impressive is the cost. How much do you think that I paid for this tool? Do you want me to tell you? So I paid £2. £2 for this little tool. And let's not forget, it's party trick. Pretty cool. So there we have the foldable wire strippers. Now, I like them, in all honesty. The build quality for £2 is phenomenal. Literally, as I said, I could go into a UK hardware store here. I could pick up something more expensive to cut wire, and it would feel like I've brought something made out of chocolate. I mean, I'd literally try to cut something with them, and it would leave dents where I've tried to cut the cable. There is no damage to these, and that's with cutting the thick power cable as well. As I said, the only really gripe I would have with it is the splitter on this bit here, and I would really, really love just for a simple adjustment to be built into these so you don't go too deep into the wire when you're stripping it. That would be icing on the cake and make these absolutely awesome. So that brought me to the end of this video, and I thought these were awesome for the cost. If this helped you, please whack a like, subscribe. If you like the product, please whack a comment in there as well. If you've got one yourself, have you managed to break it? Has it been any good for you? Whack a comment in. But as always, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next video.